Would you have ever thought that you would have been with somebody like me?
No, never, ever in my life. I never thought you people existed. I thought it was just a
What you mean, you people? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Funny, attractive.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's not what she thought at all.
No. But
I feel like your ideal version of a guy was actually the complete opposite of me. It was somebody. Remember when we first started going out? I remember you used to tell me about, I don't know if it was a slight to me, but you would always mention, you know, when I was in Taiwan, these guys, they would always open the doors for me.
Oh, totally.
They would just, when it would rain, they would take off their jacket and shield me from the weather. I was like, who are these sons of bitches? Who are these guys?
The guys who love to watch Korean dramas and be that main character, because that's the guy that
and
I
who
would
was that
have.
guy in Taiwan that you were talking about? Who was
Which one?
the one that you said was like super sweet? You had a big crush on him, but nothing ever happened.
Oh yeah, he who was he? I don't know. What did he do?
I don't remember, but I remember you told me he wrote you a letter or something before you left, or what?
Oh no, that was in college. Yeah, that was not in Taiwan. That was in,
what was that one then?
which one? The Taiwan?
The college guy.
The college guy? Oh, we're just really good friends, and you know, I was really comfortable with him. It was like my girlfriend. He would like,
Oh my god! Oh,
you know what I mean?
oh.
Yeah.
That's such a painful thing to hear as a guy. When a guy hears that the girl that he really, really likes, that he's just infatuated with, goes, "Yeah, you're like one of my girlfriends." Spear to the heart.
Well, he didn't say anything. He was just like, you know, one of the girlfriends. We always hung out together, and I was really comfortable with him, and he was really comfortable with me as well, I guess. But there was no hints of anything. Like, there was no moves.
What do you mean? Like there was nothing?
No, if there was a sign, then I would have been like, uh-oh, you know, and then maybe we would have talked about it or something. But then it was until the last minute after we graduated where I got this present and a letter, and it was a really sweet letter. But
What did the letter say?
it was like a poem.
What did? Oh God!
I don't know. I don't
move,
remember.
buddy. Sweet fucking move, man. The poem.
This was almost 10 years ago, so I don't remember. I just remember it was really sweet, and I was like, uh-oh.
What was the poem about? Was it about how beautiful you are?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Dude, come on, bro.
How beautiful I am. And it was
Mariel song, I must say, your eyes are like a glitters.
he did not have that kind of accent. It was an indirect message saying
flatters.
of that. Something like that. I remember there was sunshine and
Sunshine.
sunshine.
What else did he say about you?
I don't know.
But you didn't fall for that? Why not?
Well,
You just weren't attracted to him?
no, I didn't see him that way, and that was the last time I saw him. Because
He just disappeared off the face of the earth?
Well, we left after college. We went back home, and we don't live in the same area.
So what? Well, I mean, if you guys were such good friends, how come you guys didn't continue the friendship after that? Did he just feel too embarrassed or what?
No, I mean, I still kept in touch with him, but he on the other hand, didn't. And I figured because
His heart was broken.
I mean, I don't know. Did I break his heart?
Maybe.
I don't know.
He must have liked you for a while then.
I think so.
Because how long were you guys friends?
For 2 years?
Yeah, he probably liked you for 2 years, and he finally mustered up enough courage to finally talk to you about his feelings.
On the last day before we leave, it's like, well, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I've known a couple of guys who did that just because they feel like this is my last chance, but they don't really think about what happens if that person says no, right? So in their mind, they've already done so much work to lead up to the yes that the no is not even a possibility. So when they hear the no, they're not prepared for it. Their whole world comes crashing down. Like I bet you it feels like they're in a cave, right? And they see this exit, this bright light. And as they're walking towards it, suddenly it's you with that cartoon detonator with the dynamite, and you just go, and the whole cave starts crashing down.
Or maybe he just knew that it wasn't going to work out. He just had to let it out somehow. You know?
Yeah, probably not though, because he wrote you a poem, and it wasn't about, and there wasn't him saying like in the poem. I'm pretty sure it didn't end with, "And if you say no, I'll still love you forever, my little petunia." No, it was, "I'm putting my heart on the line, and if you crush it, I'm gonna die and disappear from the face of this earth."
He didn't ask me if it was a yes or no, though.
Of course, because you're a little pussy. That's why.
Either way. Yeah, but that was not the Taiwan guy. So, how did we come around there?
The Taiwan guy was, I just remember you talked about him like he was like the epitome of a gentleman.
He was such a
fuck that
gentleman.
guy.
He was such a gentleman. He was always taking care of me. I mean, it's just.
But he liked you too, though, right?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I'm not sure. Because he was dating someone.
Oh, was he?
But it was weird because that girl was taking care of me very well too. And I didn't know if this was like a Taiwanese thing or I don't know.
So you liked the guy with the girl that you knew?
No, I didn't know her. She was new in the group. So we hung out and then later on found out that he was dating someone. And then she came around to attend this event and she was taking so many photos of us. No joke, 500 plus. 500 plus, I would get this huge message. And I'm like, who is this?
Why is she taking photos of you guys?
She was just taking photos of the event and us and everything, but specifically me. And it was weird.
Maybe she was doing research about the girl that's trying to take her man away.
I don't know. She didn't last.
What would have happened if you got together with that guy?
I probably would have stayed there.
You probably would have stayed there longer?
Yeah. I probably would have stayed. Maybe. I don't know. Because my intention wasn't to stay there forever. But, it didn't happen for a reason. And I came back home a lot sooner than I expected for a reason. And,
I feel like your perception of what a relationship was or what a guy was really skewed when I first met you. Like,
I didn't meet anyone like you before. That's why. It was always that kind of guy. Those kind of guys were always around me.
Bunch of bitches.
Sweet guys. Remember, quote of your day is, what would Dan do?
No, that's different. See, for you, it's because like when I first met you, like you had your perception of a guy was very interesting. I feel like it was highly influenced due to all those Disney movies that you watched.
Not Disney movies.
But I really do feel that way. Or Korean dramas. It was like Korean dramas. And these guys do not exist.
I know that.
You know what I mean? A lot of people are very good at putting up a front. A lot of people. And you know this too. So Mariel actually told me the story back in the day where her mom tried to set her up with this guy. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. And this story was so interesting because it was very indicative of a lot of these guys that I saw at church. So in the Korean culture, or I just feel like any type of culture anyways, or
any conservative culture.
Conservative culture, exactly. So the people are very good at putting up front. So especially in a church setting, if you went to a Korean church, all of these kids in front of the parents would be the sweetest angels you've ever met in your life, right? So these dudes, they would insa very well. So like greet parents, 안녕하세요, whatever, do all that other crap. And so and their parents would talk up their children as well because they're not going to talk shit about their kids. They're going to say, my son, Peter Kim, he's going to be a doctor. He's studying really hard. He's really handsome. And they try to, they try to match up their kids with other kids. And so Mariel's mom consistently tried to put Mariel with one of these Korean kids. So these Korean dudes, albeit when you first meet them, are very likable in the sense of if you look at their stats.
Yeah.
They have everything that you want out of a future son-in-law. But what happens is when they're not in front of their parents, their true colors show. So what happened when you went on a date with this guy that your mom set you up with?
So apparently it's through my aunt actually.
Oh, your aunt. Okay.
Yeah. She introduced this guy to my mom saying that, he is a praise band lead. He's very dedicated to church. He's a really sweet guy. And, he got everything else. I don't know. He has like a great job, whatever. And it'll be perfect for Mariel. And so my mom's like, okay, let's set them up. So the guy was supposed to pick me up at my place. He did. His car, he brought his, Toyota or Infiniti car. I go inside and the first thing I smell is cigarette. Really bad cigarette stain smell. And I hate that smell. I hate it so much. And it was like this car that was about to break down. And he was like, oh, sorry, I'm like 30 minutes late, blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever, this is already going down the hill for me. He's like, so let's go to like a bar or something. And there's no bar near my hometown. So I was asking him, a bar? He's like, oh, there's this place called Good Times. Good Times is this janky Korean bar that's usually for high school kids because people can't, if you're under what is it, 21? Yeah, under 21, you can't go to bars. So they allow high school kids to go inside here.
Yeah.
It's no longer there, I think. I think it closed
Of course,
down.
for a good reason.
Yeah, but he likes going there. So he asked me to go there. And that was my first time ever going to that place. I hate that place. And we sit down, and the first thing he does, he says, I'm going to get out my cigarette and let's drink. And I was so confused because my aunt told me and my mom told me that, oh, this is like this really sweet, Christian guy who's apparently supposed to be an angel. And straight up, he tells me, he's like, I bet your aunt told me that I'm an angel, but really I'm not. I'm like this. And
he's trying to be Mr. Cool Guy.
Yeah.
Huh? And let me tell you something, baby. I know all these other people out here saying that I'm like this goody two-shoes, but I smoke cigarettes.
He was an oppa.
Oh, he was one of those dudes, yeah.
I looked at it, I was like, this is so
fucking
pathetic.
loser.
There's like two things I hate is that you, first of all, smoke. I hate that smell. And second, you're trying to be this cool oppa that I hate.
Yeah.
It's like, I like the cool oppa who takes me, on a hike or whatever, but not cigarette and soju. I hate that.
Yeah.
And so obviously he didn't know that. And I was just playing on with him. I was like, fine, whatever, I'll have you, pay for my lunch. It was daytime too. It doesn't help that.
He's drinking during the daytime? What the fuck?
Yeah, he was like, Dad, this is what I do. I know I'm all angel at church, but really, like, I.
Oh, so
like
he was actually saying that to impress you. So he was trying to say that to get you to like him. It's like, yo, I know, like, I'm actually a bad boy. Sometimes I get B- on my test. Sometimes I even dare to get a C+, and I'm like, Oma, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. To be honest, at that time, I was like,
Jesus.
this is not the type of guy I want to date. But for my aunt and my mom's sake, I was like, all right, I'll just have like a decent lunch with him and then bounce. And so we did that, went back home, and I told my mom, I was like, I don't like this guy. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't think I even mentioned it to her because I didn't want her to bug me about it. And I felt bad for my aunt because they don't know what kind of guy he is, clearly. And I didn't want to ruin that for people. It's like, it's none of my business, So later on, he did call me back. He's like, hey, let's hang out again. Like, I guess he liked me. So he kept calling and calling. And I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to hang out with you. And he told my aunt, and my aunt told my mom, and my mom called me back angry. She was so mad that I would not go out with him again.
Because she was like, that's the perfect kid.
Yeah. She said, this guy is super sweet and nice, and he's an angel, and he's a good Christian guy. Why wouldn't you go out with him again? And I was so mad at my mom because she wouldn't listen to me. I was like, Mom, I don't like this guy. He's not my type. Can you please leave me alone?
How come you didn't tell her about the whole cigarette and him getting drunk during the daytime?
Yeah, at first I didn't. And then I told her, I was like, Mom, you want to know why I don't like this guy? And I told her the reasons. Mm-hmm. She did not believe me.
Oh, really?
She thought I was lying to her.
Have you talked to her? Wait, hold on. Did you tell her about this recently? Like,
No.
You should talk to her about it now and tell her about it.
A couple years ago, it was brought up, and I told my mom, I was like, do you remember that time, my mom, that you almost kicked me out because of that guy? She almost kicked me out of the house because she thought I was lying to her.
It's because, Korean people, they're so extreme.
But I think she found out later on that
course.
I was telling the truth because she said, right, 맞아. I was like, and then I told her, I was like, after that, you never asked me to go on 소개팅 again. And she said, yes. She did not fight back. She's like, 맞아. So I was really glad.
Of course, because she probably felt really guilty,
Oh, man.
But that kind of
I felt
sucks.
so betrayed.
Of course, because it sucks as a kid when you go through something that was a terrible experience, right? And then
I thought he was going to kidnap me. I was so young. This old man who's so dark.
Wait, how old was he?
He was in his late 20s. I was in my early 20s.
Okay.
So it's just turned 21.
So probably like an 8-year difference or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and he looks so dark and gross.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing too. I think like just to go back to what I was saying, it sucks when, in that case too, for you anyways, you were actually shielding your mom from this thing because you wanted to save her from the embarrassment.
Yeah.
And then even after you did something like that and you're doing it from the goodness of your heart and you finally confided in her about this horrible experience that you had, she took the side of the other guy without taking your side, and you're her daughter.
Yeah.
And that probably hurt you a lot.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot, I feel like, in Asian families, just because sometimes it's not even about, I should take the side of my child. It's more like, I don't want to look dumb. So I think like that's the instant reaction is they get hyper defensive. You know, we do that too. I do it too sometimes, even in our relationships. And I was mentioning this before on a JK News episode where I'm not sure if you notice this, and I'm pretty sure you do. There are times when I'm so damn wrong, I will never say that I'm wrong, but like a guilty dog, I just won't look